You're listening to the Raptors 905 podcast. I'm Savannah Hamilton, alongside, of course, Charles Kissy. Haven't lost him yet. But we've had...
Can't shake me.
Can't shake you off yet. Not yet. Not quite. Maybe soon. We've had this guest on before, Charles. Who are we talking to today?
We're talking to Matt Morgan. It's one of my favorites. Matt's just such a great human being. Sniper for the Raptors 905. And he'll be joining Summer League for the second time around. Looking forward to having a chat, hearing about his summer and his experiences.
Absolutely. So let's welcome him on. Joining us now on the Raptors 905 podcast. He was here before, but we were catching back up with him. Matt Morgan, point guard with the Raptors 905, but now with the Raptors Summer League team. Matt, how are you doing?
Doing great. Got out here yesterday. Got a good practice in last night. Trying to get adjusted to this time change, but I'm good.
Quick turnaround, eh?
Yeah, quick turnaround. Got another 2 today. Hopefully we just keep building from where we left off yesterday.
Absolutely. There's a lot that we could talk about. I think the first thing, though, that comes straight to mind is I kind of want to touch back on the 905 experience with you.
Mm-hmm.
Now that, some months have gone past, what is it? It's August right now. So I don't know how far February or March is from now, but 4 months? But when you look back at that experience, have you come to any new conclusions, or how did you feel about the entire situation of playing in a bubble down in Florida?
I was just grateful to be playing afterwards because, not everybody had that opportunity and to be able to do it with such a great team, great group of guys. We finished number 1 in the regular season to ultimately making the playoffs, end up going out early. But I think we all can look back and honestly be proud of what we did. Obviously, we wanted to come away with a championship, but to gel so quickly, build that chemistry so quickly between us. It was a very successful season in my eyes.
Do you stay in touch with any of the guys?
I do. I talk to a lot of them. Nick, Matt, Alizé, of course, Henry, GP, all the guys. I talk to them all the time. I'm going to see some of them down here or out here in Vegas.
I just gotta go back. Matt, how are you doing? What is going on? What is happening in Matt Morgan's world right now? How has the summer been? How was it to be off? I saw you at Cornell. What is happening?
Oh, man, summer was good. Like you said, went back to Cornell, got to hang out with the guys who were freshmen when I was a junior before they graduated. Went to New York a couple times, to hoop, hang out with friends. But ultimately, I was in Charlotte. They started a Pro-Am league, played in that. We finished number 1. Couldn't be there for the playoffs. We played yesterday. We won the championship Saturday, so hopefully they get the championship. But it was good, just being with family. I got to go to Maryland, see my family a few times. So it's been a really good summer, and hopefully I just keep going here in Vegas.
Have you been able to game that much this summer?
Oh, my goodness. All the time. I'm sitting here looking at my PlayStation right now.
When is this going to be over? Night. I got games to play.
Yeah, I was on it last night, so I've been gaming all summer.
That's amazing. Yeah, I saw that you had an interview with Raptors Uprising.
I did. Right before one of their games. I love playing 2K. I love keeping up with them. They've turned their season around really quickly, so hopefully they keep winning. My boy Kenny got work. He's been amazing as usual. When I'm not doing anything, I'm playing 2K, Fortnite, all that.
Is that part of the retirement plan in 10 years when you're done playing? Just join the team when the body doesn't go, the mind and the fingers can keep working.
Hey, my hand-eye coordination will be good, so you never know. I'll be good.
I was just getting ready for this interview today. I was actually thinking about this yesterday. I was I remember when you told me that in 2K you like playing the big man. You don't really like playing the point guard.
Yep. I have I think you have 10 builds you can make, and I think 7 of them are centers, paint beasts, dunking the ball, blocking shots. And I think I have like 2 point guards because I do it enough in real life. I want to be someone else.
Are they all bullies? Like, are they all, or do they have actual post game? Like, your guys like Shaq? Shaq would say, what did he say? He used to say like 25 moves on each block, or are they just bullying people to the rim?
Honestly, it's a little bit of everything. I got some that can step out, knock down a 3, but then I have some where like I can't do anything besides in the restricted areas. So I got a little bit of everything. Like to mix it up.
Nice. I love that. What's been the biggest highlight between now and the last time that we spoke? Like other than I guess your season and coming number 1, as you mentioned, in the regular season. But what's been the biggest highlight of the summer or on and off the court?
I think off the court, the biggest highlight was I got to watch my little brothers play all summer, high school basketball. I haven't seen my middle brother because I was in college. And then my twin brothers, they're starting their senior year next year. So just being with them all summer, traveling with them, getting to hang out, talk basketball, watch them, grow as players. That's definitely been one of the biggest highlights for me. And then on the court, like I said, playing in the Queen City Pro-Am, winning games, playing against, Sendarius Thornwell, Montrezl Harrell, a lot of good talent out there. So I think that was probably the highlight on the court.
Out of all your brothers, you're the best one, right? Obviously.
I'm never going to tell any of them that they're better, but I will say one of them has potential to be better than me. I'm not going to say which one, but one of them has potential.
They're going to listen to this and be like, obviously talking about me. He's like, not even. And then he'd be like, potential. I'm already better.
I'm gonna let them fight over that one. I'm not gonna say his name.
Okay, so we're not gonna say his name, but then what is it that's gonna be better? What does he potentially, or will he potentially do better than you? Don't say shoot, because now we got crazy sniper on our hands.
Yeah, that's a bold-faced laugh. I said that. But I mean, he's definitely more of the all-around point guard. Like he does a little bit of everything, pass, rebound. He can shoot, he can finish at the rim, all that type of stuff. So he does everything really well, especially for his age right now. So yeah, I mean, he definitely has potential to, be a lot better than me. Not scoring wise, but everything else. He can be better than me.
All right, Matt. I want to know how you found yourself on the Raptors 905 Summer League squad. Sorry, not Summer 905, but the Raptors Summer League squad. How did that lead up to coming from off of a 905 season, and now here you are back again with the Raptors organization, which, by the way, me and Kissy and everybody at Title League, we love to see.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. Like after the bubble, got a call. They said they wanted me to play Summer League, and I told them there was no doubt that I'm gonna come back and play Summer League. So it happened months ago. So I've been preparing, watching film with my guy JB, just preparing to get out here and look like I haven't lost a step. Like I know I've been through this. I know the system, offense and defense. So now at this point, it's just kind of help teach, which I got to do a little bit yesterday because Summer League, we don't have many practices, so everything moves really fast. So having someone like myself, Scotty, who's been here for a while, other people have been here, helping teach the new guys who haven't been here, the plays, the defense, because like I said, we don't have many practices. So it's always good to have that experience beforehand.
Does any of that make you want to coach when you're done?
Not at all. Not at all.
You're like, I'm not putting up with this.
Not at all.
Like, nah.
I mean, it's a difference probably being a professional coach in like college, high school, but watching how my dad dealt with his AAU organization, I'm good. I'm gonna leave that to people who really, have a passion for that.
Yeah, are you not working with your brothers at all? Like, are you not spending some time, or is that different because it's your family?
It's different because I'm not coaching, the other kids, like having to deal with, their egos, their attitudes, their parents' egos and attitudes. I mean, my brothers, they already know the deal. They know me. They know my dad. So it's not really that much of a headache. But, dealing with everybody is completely different.
Your brothers, they must think you're pretty cool, eh?
I guess. I don't know. They never tell me. So I guess they think I'm pretty cool.
I was just going to ask, give me your perspective on this. You talked about dealing with everybody else. As a player, like as a coach, I've coached AAU, I've coached professional, but as a player, now that you've had a little step back, COVID's provided that, you've been in the gyms now, you get to see what's happening that you probably would have noticed as a player when you were young. What are you seeing out there? Just give me your sort of overall picture, because you got to watch a little AAU basketball. What does it look like? Is it the same as when you were coming up, which is not that long ago, but still, is it what perspective do you have now sitting back and knowing what you know?
I mean, the main thing I always say is Steph Curry ruined basketball. That's one thing.
Thanks, Steph, and your $400 million.
Every gym I go to, kids are shooting deep threes, off the dribble threes, trying to be Curry, trying to be Dame.
Trying to be Matt Morgan.
Trying to be me, you know what I mean? But, it's just different. Basketball is different. It's all about pace and space, making open shots, and trying to get to the rim, kick out for threes. So definitely, whether it's AAU, high school, I mean, college is different because they don't have defense at 3 seconds. So, people can just sit in the paint. But definitely everything's changed with the 3-point line. That's like the ultimate weapon now. So that's what I see looking, as a player sitting back.
And is that different than when you came up, or had that already begun?
You can see the shift, kind of. I mean, people still, like to throw the ball in the post. Let the big work on the block. Mid-range pull-ups weren't, that big of a deal. So that was still in the game, but I mean, now I don't really see that many mid-range pull-ups. I don't ever see somebody post up anymore. But a lot of ISO, off the dribble, catch and shoot threes, stuff like that. That I didn't have that growing up. Like, I couldn't do that. I was always told, go stand in the corner and shoot it every time you touch it.
When you say that you're not really seeing people post up anymore, are you talking about like this new positionless basketball, like this Giannis Antetokounmpo type build, that like point forward?
Yeah, definitely. Like, you see kids who are, 6'9", bringing the ball up the court, dribbling, trying to get to the rim, make plays. When, back when I was playing, when I was younger, if you're tall, you're just going to stand on the block and, fight for rebounds, throw it in the post, make a hook shot, stuff like that. So definitely Giannis, KD, that type of build definitely has changed basketball. Like you said, positionless now. Like my dad's AAU team, all of them were around the same height. They just switched everything on defense. So stuff like that, definitely have changed basketball. But it's always evolving. So we'll see what the next wave is.
Interesting.
Okay, one more basketball question for you. How do you think that changes your role, your game as like a 6'1" point guard?
Mm-hmm.
What does that do? As you say, the Steph Currys of the world changed the game, but what does that do when now you have like the Lukas? Are you nervous about it? Is there a role for the smaller player, like the taller players sort of eliminated themselves, like the traditional post players almost extinct? What do you think the future is for the smaller point guard if they're not shooting the deep three?
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly it comes down to if you can make open shots. A lot of guards, work on, pick and rolls, making shots off the dribble, stuff like that. But I mean, they pay dudes who are like you said, 6'7", 7 feet to do the same thing that we're doing. So the ability, space the floor, especially for people like Giannis, LeBron, Luka, to let them, do what they do and help comes and you can knock down an open shot. I mean, that's why Duncan Robinson got paid, I think, like, $100 million, $90 million, even though he's not 6'1", 6'2". But definitely being able to make open shots and then just playing defense, honestly, being a pest on defense. Patrick Beverley type, he's been in the league for a while, making a lot of money doing that. So definitely there's still a place for 6'2", 6'3" guards. But, I mean, everyone can do what we can do now. So it all comes down to, those little things.
Matt, I got you. I was going to bring up, I was like, actually, he's 6'2". He's listed as 6'2".
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. I was going without the shoes, but whatever.
Without the shoes.
6'3" with shoes, a couple
exactly, 6'2" without shoes.
My bad, man. My bad.
Nah, it's all good. But nah, I hear you. Like, I guess what you're saying, like, it speaks volumes as long as you're consistent, right? And I think we've seen that as well with like a Lowry. Lowry's not going to be pulling no Steph Curry. I think at one point in his career he did, and he wrote in that like goodbye message. He's like, thank you to Casey for telling me to stop shooting pull-up threes.
Stop shooting dribble pull-up threes. Yeah.
So I think definitely.
I mean, it's crazy how the game has changed so quickly, but got to adapt to it, or you can get left behind.
Absolutely. What are your impressions of this summer league team? I know it's literally just been day one practice, but you see the roster, we all see the roster. Like, how are you feeling about it so far?
I'm really excited, especially being here for a while, seeing the guys on the team. I'm really excited. We have a lot of size, a lot of length. I mean, starting with Scotty, 6'9", huge wingspan. Delano 6'7", I guess, long wingspan. I mean, those two are definitely going to be the catalyst for us. And then Malachi, running the offense. David Johnson, everybody, honestly, just really excited. After day one, you can see the energy, the intensity. Then, of course, Coach Mutombo, he's not going to settle for anything less than, winning a championship. So, I mean, we're going to keep working hard. We're going to try to build this chemistry as quickly as possible, keep everyone healthy first and foremost. But really excited. I mean, everyone should be excited. I mean, a lot of us have stuff to prove. But at the end of the day, we're all going to be unselfish. We're going to be selfless and try to get as many wins as possible.
Is this your first summer league?
It's my second summer league.
Second summer. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay, I was like, okay. Yep. How do you feel going into this one as summer league number 2 then, compared to number 1?
It's completely different. Summer league number 1, like I said, everything was moving so fast, having to learn everything in just a few days. It was crazy. It was definitely a whirlwind of emotions, especially coming right out of college. First time, like by myself out in Vegas. Didn't want to come out my room because I didn't want to get in trouble. But now being my second one, having that experience in the organization and the system for quite a while, it's completely different. Now I've gone from, listening and learning as much as possible to, teaching as many people as possible to try to get people up to speed. And then, I have my little brother coming out here soon. I have some friends that'll come out and visit just to watch the game. So that's always exciting.
I love that. Because I was at that first summer league and you kind of came on late, right? Like it took you a little while to get going. And so now you're primed and ready to go, right? Like your head is not spinning. You're in it. You've done it now. But that's a real thing, right? In terms of, for those that don't know, summer league is fast and furious, right? There's just no time to really, you get what you can get in so you can play games and see players play and players can kind of show what they can do. And it's a big, almost in a way, a showcase tournament. I think the Raptors have done a great job keeping cohesiveness as much as possible, right? Because you see other teams that are just like, it's kind of a free-for-all, right? In that sense. So, but this will be exciting for you to be able to do that again, right? To be able to now come in with what you know. You talked about having things to prove. What is it for you that you want to go out and show?
Just, that I'm going to keep building off what I did last year. I mean, last year, like you said, started the same way as Summer League my rookie year and my rookie season, to be honest. Didn't play much in the beginning, but toward the middle, toward the end, came on really strong and finished, what we had was a really good season. So just keep building off that, keep, trying to learn as much as possible, trying to teach as much as possible. But on the court, consistently making shots, defense, ball pressuring, keeping guys in front of me, talking, communicating, whether I'm on the court or off the court, stuff like that. That at this point, just doing all the little things. Because after a while, you learn they know you can make shots, even if you're not making them. They know a lot of stuff about you already. It's just they want to see you do the little things, talking, playing hard, playing with confidence, stuff like that. So that's my mindset this go around.
It seems like you always have this almost like an underdog type of story where, you always start maybe not getting the most minutes, but you're still, positive attitude. You're still helping your teammates out. And I'm just like pulling up a stat from one of your games from back in the Raptors 905 in the bubble. And you like towards the end of the season against Ignite, you played 35 minutes, shot 9 for 11, dropped, what is that? 25 points on
big
Mans.
Deal.
No big deal. No big deal. And so it almost feels like you always seem to rise up when your name is called.
Yeah, I mean, that's a credit to, all the coaches that I've had the past few years, keeping my head straight, telling me when my opportunities, presented, I got to be ready. So, I mean, that's really just all it is, being ready for the opportunity. And when it's there, you got to, take advantage of it because, I mean, like we talked about, it's a lot of 6'2", 6'3" guards. So, once you had an opportunity, you got to go out and perform. But it always helps, especially last year with the guys we had on the team, Alizé, GP, Henry, Nick, that's a lot of talent to be surrounded with. But I mean, even my rookie year, Tyler Ennis, Devin Robinson, O'Shea, who are all my brothers now. So all of them just keeping my confidence up, whether, I'm playing or not. And then when I get on the court, it's just basketball at that point. I'm doing what I love to do, and I'm going to, show people what I can do.
Absolutely. Because I think it must be like, I can imagine sometimes the frustration that could potentially come with that. But like, obviously, like you've shown out many, many different times and staying ready and having that positive mindset. But, how like going into the summer league, I guess, like, how are you trying to almost stand out from I don't want to say from the crowd, but stand out, play your game, but then also play that team basketball because it is such a fine balance in a type of showcase tournament like this.
Yeah, like you said, finding that balance between, trying to show what I can do, but also, encouraging, leading, helping, guys who haven't been through this that are about to go through it. So, I mean, for me, when that opportunity is presented, I'm going to be ready. I know this system. I know, the plays. I know the defense. So for me, it's just doing the little things, like I said, being in the right spots, communicating. Because like I said, it's only a few practices. So, stuff that I might react to just naturally being in the system for a while, someone else might not. So, not be getting too frustrated with stuff like that. But ultimately just going out there and playing my game, being confident in what I can do and, showing people that, but definitely want to do, like off the court communicating, being a good person, helping do the little things off the court, like cleaning up after, practice and stuff like that. People notice stuff like that. So, being my second time around, this should be really fun.
I want to ask this question for those that may not play the game. You're known as a shooter, right? Like one of the main things that you do. How hard is it when you're not making shots in moments? Because it's not like you make every shot all the time and you make most of them, but how hard is it for you in that world? And how do you manage that? Right. And so the reason why I'm asking is because a lot of people, I'm always like almost angry at people who criticize professional basketball players because you can't appreciate how good they truly are. Right. Like they're on a level that many people will never get to in their own professional careers. Right. In terms of how good and talented they truly are. But how does it impact you when you're not? Like, what's that pressure like? It's almost like I want you to explain to people what it's like in a sense, right? When you're so good at something and it just, maybe you have a bad day. What does a 1 for 10 feel like? A 1 for 10 day? Not that you have very many of those, but what does that feel like for a guy who just is so good at his job on a day-to-day?
Yeah, it definitely, can affect you mentally, especially when you have a specific role or a specific label as a player. Like, especially when you're designated as a shooter. I mean, I tell my little brother this all the time because on his AAU team, he's designated as a shooter. Like, if you're not making shots, the only way to stay on the floor is you got to do other things. If you're designated as a shooter, you're designated as like a big man who finishes at the rim or a point guard who gets people put in the right places. If you're not doing that, and you're not doing the other things, right, there's no point you being on the court. So for me, like if I'm struggling shooting the ball, especially during a game, definitely gets in my head. I remember my rookie year, I didn't tell people this, but I would literally count like how many I made and missed every game. Like while I'm in the game, I'd be like, dang, I'm 1 for 5. I got to make one more to get to like a certain percentage, or I got to make this many to get to a certain percentage. And, after a while that's not good for you, especially, as a shooter, because you're in your own head at that point. You're not even trying to play basketball. You're focusing too much. So, you learn to just, let the game happen. Trust your work, trust the work that you've put in. And ultimately the only advice I can give, or the best advice I can give, is, keep shooting. They know you're a shooter. Shooters know, once one goes in, then, it starts to open up. And I tell people all the time, the game Steph Curry broke the record before Klay Thompson broke it, of course. The game before that, I think he was like 1 for 13 against the Lakers or something like that. And the very next, like 13 threes. So definitely have a short-term memory. Each shot is a new shot. So keep shooting.
Absolutely. Because I feel like people forget just the humanity of players and professional athletes as a whole. I mean, we've even seen this in the Olympics, right? Like Simone Biles, for example. And I think there's also so many like off-court factors, and like now with the discussion really opening up with like mental health, like I feel it's just it feels so out of place. It feels so almost like outdated when fans really go hard or really don't understand why a player is not having his best game.
Yeah, and I mean, it's all internet, social media, stuff like that you can't really pay attention to, because everyone has an opinion. No matter if you play well, no matter if you play bad, if you're not playing at all, everybody has an opinion. You learn to just kind of ignore it, focus on the people who really matter, your coaches, teammates, your family, stuff like that. Because I mean, social media really have your mind really messed up, especially if you're sitting there reading what people are saying about you. So yeah, I think social media is the biggest driver with this mental health nonsense. But I mean, as you see, Naomi Osaka, Simone Biles, DeMar talks about it a lot. So definitely focus on your mental health first, because that's obviously the most important.
Absolutely. And I was going to say, like, your Twitter game is pretty strong. You got like, you have a solid following. You get a lot of retweets. I've been paying attention. But I was going to say, like, how, like, I guess you just post to post and you don't really like let any of the comments get to you.
Nah, once I post it, whoever comments, they can say whatever. I don't pay no attention to it. But yeah, I tweeted a lot in high school. Now I'm kind of, fading a little bit, but I'm always on it. I'm always keeping up with people, keeping up with sports, all that type of stuff. But yeah, internet trolls, I've learned that they're going to do it regardless. So don't even pay attention to it.
Speaking of keeping up, are you watching the Olympics?
I am. I love it. I love the Olympics.
What are you watching? Are you like me? Just like anything that's on, I'm taking it in. A sport I've never heard of, doesn't matter. I'm watching it. Or do you have your specifics? And what are you seeing? What are you liking about this year's Olympics? It's the COVID version of the Olympics.
So obviously I'm biased. Of course, I'm keeping up with USA basketball.
Can I just interrupt you to say? Can I just interrupt you to say that our women's Olympic soccer team has won a gold medal? So shout out to them as you praise the Americans. They're doing great too. But we're doing pretty well over here in Canada. Carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, I saw that one. I think USA women, we went out early, but that's okay.
To Canada, by the way. Yeah. The Canadians beat them. Just for, just to keep our facts straight.
Yeah. But I didn't want to say it. I wanted you to say it, but definitely USA basketball, keeping up with that. I love volleyball, women's volleyball, and USA, they're doing really well. But I'm like you, anything that's on, I was watching mountain biking the other day and was really into it for some reason. Water polo, handball, rugby, anything that's on, honestly. Swimming's probably one of my low-key favorites to watch. But honestly, anything that's on, because It takes a lot of skill and a lot of time to become an Olympic athlete. So, of course, gymnastics, but it takes a lot of time to be an Olympic athlete. So, appreciating everyone that's there. And track. I forgot about track. Shout out Sydney McLaughlin.
Hey.
Yeah. And some of ours, I got to give a shout out to Andre DeGrasse, obviously, and Damian Warner, who won the gold medal in the as a decathlete. Like, that's insane. Could you ever be a decathlete? Like, when I watch I can't even throw a basketball anymore before my shoulder feels like it's going to give out. They're shot putting, javelin. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, nah.
If you had to pick an event, what would it be for you? If you were going to be an Olympian, they just said, boom, like an honourary PhD, and they just gave it to you. What would it be?
Not basketball.
Yeah, not basketball.
Not obviously. Yeah, good.
Wow, put me on the spot here.
Yep, I say tough questions.
I have two. My like go-to would probably be I'd be 100-meter track.
Okay.
I think that's what I would go with, 100-meter track. But like my fun one, just because I was watching skateboarding the other day. I didn't know that was an Olympic sport. So if I were good at it, I would love to be Olympian in skateboarding because I feel like that's just so cool.
Oh yeah, that's actually new, I believe, to like this year.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that like a 12 and 13-year-old were like gold and silver medalists just like that. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
it only makes sense, doesn't it? Like, that's what 12 and 13-year-olds are doing daily. Like, it only makes sense. You would think it wouldn't be a 40-year-old at that point, or a 30-year-old. It's going to be a 12 or 13-year-old for that.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Yeah, I didn't see many, anyone over like the age of like 21. So shout out to the 13-year-old who won gold. She really killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Big time. What sport would you not do? What's the one that you're like, no thanks? Like for me, it's discus because I would hurt somebody. Like I'd be throwing that thing. You couldn't have enough nets around that thing flying everywhere. What is the one for you that's like, there's no chance I'm doing this?
Also want to go back. I would definitely do swimming. I forgot about that one. Definitely swimming.
Swimming's tough, eh?
Yeah, it's very tough. It's very tough. Shout out to all the swimmers. I couldn't do that, but that would be one. But if I was just like, no, I'm not doing this no matter what you told me, that's a tough one. It had to be something like water polo.
Oh, vicious.
Yeah, they're vicious. They like try to basically drown each other. So like, nah, I'm cool on that. I enjoy my life. I'm good. Y'all got it.
I think synchronized swimming for me. I don't think I would ever do that. You can't. Apparently, you're not allowed to touch the ground of like the pool. You can't touch the bottom at all. You're kind of got to float there and like do your thing.
Ooh, yeah,
just like on top of like I don't know, breathing. I want to breathe.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
And
then like there's also what's it called? Kissy. Maybe you guys know this one better than us. It's like the swimming and then the running and then I think
triathlon or something.
Triathlon.
Yeah.
Miss me on that. I like running, but that's where it stops.
Yeah, I saw some video and like every guy that crossed the finish line was like in so much pain, like laying down, couldn't breathe. So yeah, that would be another one. I'm like, yeah, I'm good on that one.
The Olympics is a good way for people to understand what it's like to be a professional athlete. Like the pain that you see when they cross the finish line. They're giving everything. But then to think the buildup to get there 4 years later, right?
Yeah.
And then to do it multiple times for those who are able to do that, right? And win multiple Olympic medals. It's pretty painful. I love that you said water polo because to think synchronized swimming, to say what you said, like, they have to sort of stay afloat and then they're fighting. It's basically like rugby in the air. In the water. In the water.
It is.
Right?
That's basically what it is. And it scares me like watching them because they have to tread water the entire time while they're, fighting each other. And then you got to focus on scoring. Like that's too much. Just take me out. I'll cheer from the stands. Like I'm not doing it.
That's awesome. Turning the page here a little bit, I feel like So I cover a lot of WNBA and women's basketball and stuff like that. Shout out to USA women's basketball.
Yep.
You know, and there's been a lot of strides, I feel like, especially this past year that we've seen. Well, the WNBA hoodie, for one, was like the best-selling one in 2020 for sports items as a whole. But now we're seeing Candace Parker on the cover of NBA 2K. Crazy, eh? And that's, for me, as like somebody who used to play and like play in college and all that stuff, like I never had, you know, role model to look up to on the women's side. It's always like, I played NBA 2K. And yes, Matt, I will take you on anytime. But
challenge.
I like that. I like that.
Shots fired.
Anytime. But listen, okay, wait. Just I want to pause this conversation because I gotta ask you, who is your most not obscure, but like player that you wouldn't think to use, but you use them in 2K because you know their game so well? Like for me, it was Luol Deng back in the day. Like I could use Luol Deng to do everything in 2K.
I think it was one year. I can't remember who he played for, but my brother could not stop Spencer Dinwiddie. I can't remember what 2K it was, but every time I got that team, I would score like 80 points with Spencer Dinwiddie. I don't know why. Like I knew everywhere he could shoot from. I knew his release. I knew like everything about him. But I used to destroy my brother with Spencer Dinwiddie.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Like
somewhere Luol Deng is smiling on the top of one of his condos, I'm sure. Just like somebody just gave me a shout out. I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Chicago Bulls. But going back to the original question, I was gonna ask, like, you know, how does that make you feel, like, as, you know, coming from your perspective? Because I think listening to, like, you know, guys and talk about this about like how they see women developing and growing in like their coverage and just getting more spotlight and shine. You know, how does I guess, what do you see in the growth of the women's game as well?
Man, you can see it really expanding. I mean, you start with, you know, like you said, the 2K cover with Candace Parker, the coverage of the WNBA. People are, you know, really engaged and really following it. And I think it really kind of helped having this Olympic break, you know, for like people who were overseas or couldn't get there early in the season to come back, you know, make an impact for their teams. But I mean, honestly, I love it. I love the WNBA. I've been following it for a while. I mean, shout out to Breanna Stewart, my favorite player, my good friend. You know, yeah, she's killing in the Olympics right now. But, you know, as I've watched the WNBA, I've learned a lot of, you know, new players, watching new teams, stuff like that. And I feel like that's kind of the case for everybody now that, you know, like you said, the WNBA hoodies, you know, the highest sold item like this past year. You can really see people starting to, you know, really get interested in it. And I think it's good because they have a lot of talented players, a lot of talented teams. I mean, you start with the top, the reigning MVP, Asia Wilson's killing it in the Olympics right now. You got, you know, I don't want to call them old heads, but the vets, Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. And then even in college, like you have people like Paige Beckers who are, you know, getting people really excited about when she enters the league. So every level, I feel like it's just getting more and more coverage, more and more exciting. And I mean, I love to see it because I love watching WNBA. But hopefully, you know, being biased, my Seattle Storm can bring back another championship.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the squad.
Yeah, that's the squad. I've been rocking with them since Stewie got drafted. So that's the squad. We got to bring home another one.
I love that. And also, I didn't know that you follow the league like that closely. I was just kind of being like, I don't know, like, what do you think about like women's basketball? And then now I was like, oh shit, we dropping names out here. Best friend of Stewie, like what?
Yeah, I follow WNBA. I watch all of it. The Aces, Asia Wilson, Cam Bates, Kelsey Plum getting, you know, the gold medal 3-on-3. Mm-hmm. Then you got the young teams like Dallas with Satu, Arike, my girl Bella Allery's with Dallas. So yeah, I know a lot about the WNBA. I follow it. I follow it more than the NBA, to be honest.
What? That's dope. Yeah. That is so dope. I just interviewed Arike yesterday, actually, funny enough.
Really?
But then, no, she was super cool. But my favorite team has to be the Aces. Liz Cambage is my favorite player.
God.
She's my favorite.
Our
she just goes to work.
rivals.
She bodies
Our
girls. She
rivals.
bodies mans. Like you see her in practice, like just bodying her trainers all the time. It's great. I love to see
Las Vegas is really stacked, honestly. I love Asia and Cambage, like that dynamic. Then you have
you don't see that much. Like two
no,
bigs.
You don't. Yeah, and they work really well together.
So
and then you got the energy bunnies off the bench, De'Erica and Kelsey Plum. You got the, steady Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young.
Yeah.
So, that they got a little bit of everything, but I mean, I'm biased. So Stewie and Sue Bird and Jewel Lloyd, you can't go wrong with them. So
love that.
That's a pretty good trio. For you, as you move into your second summer league with all this experience, what's the one thing you're looking to take away? What's the one thing you really want to get out of this next 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks?
I say the relationships, with my teammates, with, the coaches, the organization, front office, just building relationships. Cause, my first year, like I said, I was timid. I didn't want to get in trouble. I just wanted to do what I was told, go back to my room and watch TV, play video games. But, talking to people, getting to know people, having conversations, stuff like that. That's definitely one thing I want to get out of this, because now that I've been through it, people are familiar with me, but they might not know me on like a personal level. Definitely building relationships.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. It's what it's about. It's what it's about.
Always, always.
So then, I mean, there's building relationships, but then I guess the end goal is ultimately finding a spot, your next spot. What does that look like for you, I guess? Like, what are you, is that more of a stay with the Raptors organization to go anywhere that, would be willing to, or not even willing, just could use you as a player, as a very talented one?
I mean, I would love to, stay with the Raptors. Obviously, been here for a while, know the system, know the people. So yeah, that's the ultimate goal, is to, perform for this team, win with this team. But ultimately, as a player, you got to do what's best for you, and the organization has to do what's best for them. So ultimately, it's just ending up anywhere, because, love playing basketball. I want to, keep playing for a while. But goal number one is obviously win with this team, get to know as many people, and try to win a championship. And hopefully, if I do that, everything just kind of takes care of itself from that point.
Absolutely. Oh, Matt, I want to see you win so bad, man. I just want to see you win at life.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's neat to see the growth from year to year. Like, it's not like you've been a pro for 10 years, but you have a great head on your shoulders. You got great parents, family, so that all just kind of falls into place pretty well. I just want to say, I look forward to playing you one-on-one one day. I can tell you that the only shot I can ever make now is a half-court shot. I'm going to put that out there. It's the only one I can make. So, Yep, I know. Weird, right? Can't make a layup. I swear to you.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
Ask him. I swear to you. It's the only one I can make. You want to have a half-court shooting competition? I'm the guy you don't want to play.
What?
It's weird. I know, Sav, one day you'll get to see it. But Matt, you and I would do it for a Starbucks or something. All right, I got you next time. Really good to see your face.
Oh yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, it's weird because we'll be in practice. We'll be guarding the coaches. Doing our drills, and then someone has to shoot the ball, and and
go ahead, tell him. Just go ahead and tell him. Don't be shy. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell the world.
He gets the ball, and throughout practice, I give him a solid 1 for 15. But then, when the money's on the line,
numbers are not important.
When the money's on the line on the half court shot, and the coaches go first, if he gets the ball, we all know just wrap it up. We're going home.
Sign the check. Just sign the check.
That good, eh? Oh man, I need
it's the only one I can make.
Dang.
Yeah, it got to the point where you're like, okay, you have to go last. Let everybody else shoot first, and then you can have your turn.
He's that guy in bump, eh? If you're to play bump.
Yeah, but it's got to be from half court because I don't even know if I can make a free throw anymore. But on that note, I know you can make free throws, Matt. We both wish you the best. Like, look forward to watching you through Summer League, regardless of what happens after. You're going to play basketball for a really long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Paid. So that's fantastic. And thanks for being here today.
Absolutely. Appreciate y'all having me. Looking to have a good Summer League out here in Vegas. Definitely these next few practices are going to be important, but as long as everyone's healthy, as long as everyone's locked in, I think we got a chance to win it all. So we're going to try to bring this home. Last year we got one game short of the championship, so hopefully Summer League we can win it all this time. So appreciate y'all having me again. This is always fun. And I did not forget the milk conversation with the bag. That I did not forget about that. I tell people that all the time. I did not forget about that.
Really?
Yes, I did not forget about that one. I did not forget the questions you asked. The milk before the cereal milk. Trust me, I don't forget all that. That's some weird questions.
Good to know. This is how I'm gonna go down. This is what when someday when you're doing your thing, NBA got the big contract and everything. I'm gonna go Matt. Oh, that's the weird milk girl.
I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's the one who puts the milk in before the cereal.
No, I can't talk to her.
Security.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm like, someone got to come get her till she switches it up.
Exactly. Well, I appreciate you, Matt. I'll let you get back to playing 2K or whatever you're doing in Las Vegas right now.
I appreciate it. I'm about to, get some breakfast before practice. We got 2 of them today, so looking forward to it.
Enjoy, Matt. Thank you.
Appreciate it.